Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local celebrity hosts Steve-O and Renee. Sit back each week while Steve-O and Renee educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve-O and Renee with today's expert in their field.
Again, another show without Renee. Now, I know it seems like she's like dragging. She's not. We have a morning show, 7 to 10 every morning. We live in Coral Springs, and the station is out in Palm Beach. So every morning, 3-hour show. It's a talk show. So there's a lot of preparation, and she's actually working on the show right now. Today is really a cool show today because, listen, there's a lot of people out there. It's a shame, but the way the economy is, there's people out there who've got to get rid of their house, and usually in a pretty big hurry. So what we did, we found a company. It's called Florida Cash Home Buyers, and we're going to talk about this, but they actually come in, make you an offer, and get the house off of your shoulder. You can sleep again at night. And we're so lucky because we found there's some strange companies out there. One day they're open, one day they're closed.
Right.
So let me introduce you to one of the senior partners of Florida Cash Home Buyers, Omer Reiner.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, bro.
Hey, man.
How you doing, man?
Very good.
I love what you guys do. I think it is just, especially with the way the economy is right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are hurting out there.
Yeah.
We live in a nice area. There's a foreclosure right across the street from us. Mm-hmm. You can always tell those foreclosures.
Right. They look abandoned.
They got a lot of paperwork on the windows. Mm-hmm. The drapes are gone.
Right.
And no one's mowing the lawn. Mm-hmm. But I'm seeing a lot. And we live in a nice area.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And I'm just thinking, if they would have known about you maybe, because I saw them moving out in the middle of the night, but maybe if they'd have known about you 6-8 months ago, maybe they wouldn't have to be moving out in the middle of the night.
Right. We could have probably helped them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want you, first of all, tell me about your company.
Okay. So we started in 2011. We're based in Fort Lauderdale. It's basically me and my partner are the managing
Gabriel
members.
Garcia.
Yeah, Gabriel. We're a team of about 14 people right now.
Got a big staff.
Yeah, we're growing.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, we buy the houses as is. We close, a week or two, buy them all cash. So there's no waiting on lenders and stuff like that. We basically buy any type of property, any condition, any price range.
Yeah, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter the condition.
No, not at all.
So, and I'm sure a lot of these companies will look at the house and go, and not think about, man, we could fix this up. We could really make this something nice.
Right.
But you take care of that. They don't even have to worry about it.
Right. For a homeowner to fix up a place, to sell it, contractors overcharge normal homeowners.
That's interesting.
Not to talk bad about contractors, but the prices we get, materials and labor is in a discount. So we're able to fix them up a little bit cheaper.
Remember, his name is Omer. Mine's Steve-O, okay? I don't want to come downstairs and have a bunch of contractors, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because there's actually a TV show on. Mm-hmm. That's the whole theme of it is contractors are ripping off people. And it's like scary, the things that they try to get away with, because most people don't know about the ins and outs of fixing something up. But you take care of that for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So tell me how it works. Somebody calls you up from the show. Mm-hmm. And first of all, let's give everybody your phone number.
It's 954-906-3000.
Okay, so I'm having trouble with my house. Mm-hmm. I need to get out of it.
Right.
I don't have 2 months for someone to say, I'll buy your house. I need it done probably yesterday.
Okay.
So you come out to their house. You go through the house. You have an idea of what you got to do, what you got to put into it. Mm-hmm. And then you make them an offer?
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, if possible, we'd like to see the place, meet them in person.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to come out to the house.
Yeah. I mean, if the person is not around, we can make them an offer over the phone.
You can?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll look on the computer. You can see quite a lot on Google Maps, so we can tell about the house and the description that they give us, the size of the house, so we can estimate pretty good, how much work it
So
will
you're
need.
not that concerned with the condition.
No, I mean we
If you could do it
estimate
over the phone.
Yeah, we can do it over the phone.
Wow. Okay. So then when would they have their check?
It depends on. Usually, it takes about 7 to 14 days. So
Which is not very long at all.
right. So it's the normal process is once we come to an agreement with a seller, we'll sign contract. We'll send it to the title company. The title company will do a title and lien search to see what's going on, if everything is okay. Lien search, really what we're waiting on is the lien search, and that varies by city. So some of them are very quick, 2 or 3 days, we already have it, we can close. Some of them take longer, so some of them take up to 10, 15 business days. That's on the higher extreme. So
Hey, I saw some guys in Miami. They were selling houses. Only one small problem. They didn't own them.
yeah.
Yes,
Right.
I think the lien search.
Right,
is
you got to
probably-
know what,
Yeah.
what you're getting into.
And I've also heard stories of people renting out houses that they didn't know.
It happened to us, actually.
You're
one
kidding.
One of the houses that we were selling, our realtor actually put a tenant in there while we were marketing it. And so,
Wow.
crazy.
Okay, so they could almost maybe 2 weeks they could actually close. So, what kind of people come to you? I'm not talking about character. I'm talking about
Right.
what financial position are they in when they come to you?
Really, it's all types of situations. Any we've seen so many cases. So I mean, from people that just need money to pay the bills, have some bills that they're behind. They need some money to move, need moving assistance. People that have a house that's perfectly fine, just want to sell quickly, don't want to deal with the hassle of listing it with a realtor and showing it to people. So it's really different.
Yeah, having
different
people coming in and out their
situations.
house.
Right.
I totally understand. Now, do you need approval from the bank when you want to buy a home that's in foreclosure?
Okay, so in foreclosure, it's two situations. So either the house has equity, or it's underwater, meaning
Okay.
that the mortgage is more than what the house is worth. So in that case, if the mortgage is more than what it's worth, then yes, we do need an approval from the bank because we're gonna negotiate with them. We're not gonna offer them, obviously the full amount of the mortgage.
Right.
We're trying to get it at a cheap enough price so we can make a profit. For in the first situation, when there is equity, it depends on the amount of equity there is. If it's enough for us to be able to fix it up and resell it for a profit, then we don't need any approval from the bank. If it's not so much equity, we might need to go through a short sale also.
Now, remember, you're going to be able to sell your house fast.
Right.
You might not get as much as maybe if you waited well, I know you won't get as much if you waited 3 or 4 months down the road.
Right.
But, I mean, to me, it would seem much easier, much cleaner.
Yeah.
Let you guys come in and do your stuff. And we're going to get to this too, that then once you bought the house, then you start remodeling, fixing it up,
Yeah.
and then you resell it.
Right.
So you also have an inventory of houses.
Yeah.
So if you're out looking for a house right now, let's give them your phone number again.
It's 954-906-3000.
So they have, and we were just talking, 4 of them. You've got one in South Miami. You've got one in Fort Lauderdale. You've got one in Pompano. You've got one in Boynton Beach, and these range anywhere between $85,000 all the way up to $350,000.
Right.
But when they come in and buy a house from you, everything's been fixed up.
Yeah, it's all pretty much new. Everything we like to make the house, really nice, so it sells fast.
So it's
and,
sellable?
Everything is quality work and stuff like that. So.
Then you also have houses that you're giving a much better price for, but it's
Right.
as is.
Right.
So if you are into fixing up houses, this is a great way to do it
Yeah.
because they can put their own money into fixing it up,
Right.
and they got a good price on a house.
Yeah, they have equity. They can either rent it or sell it.
Right. So if you know of somebody who really needs to get out from under their house, fast. We have a company right here that can come in. You could almost, like you said, you could even do it over the phone. But I think it's probably better if you come out, right?
Yeah, we like to see the
Because you're going to be
if
working
possible.
on a property. Yes. And are there any other houses that you don't want to buy?
It really, like if it's in really low price and it's a wood frame house that's falling apart, it depends. We might buy it for the land, but it has to make sense.
Right. Have you ever just bought a house for the land and then built on it?
We haven't
Knocked the
built,
house down and
not yet. We haven't built yet, but we bought some lots.
I thought about that because I'm from Dallas, and in Dallas, there's some really nice sections of town, but some really old houses. The land is worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
The house isn't.
Right.
And people are going in and buying the land.
Right.
They're completely gutting the house out and starting over again. Do you see that happening down here in South Florida?
Yeah, we see it.
So now,
Definitely.
do you have your own crew, your construction crew?
We have several. Yeah. Right now we have, I think, 15 or 16 active projects. So
Wow.
there's- it's mostly my partner that handles that part of the business.
Understand.
So we have a project manager, and
He's goofing off right now, isn't he?
He's
I
what?
know he's goofing off right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, Gabriel. He's just goofing off right now.
Yeah,
he's
stuck in
probably
traffic,
sitting in his
probably.
car listening to the show. He said, "I'd rather Omer do it." Tell people what a short sale is, because there's a lot of people who've never been involved in this who don't know what a short sale is.
So a short sale is basically when you own a house and you took a mortgage. The mortgage, let's say the house is worth $100,000. The mortgage is $200,000. Short sale is basically when you or us negotiate with a bank for you to be able to sell it and pay the bank less than what you owe them. So let's say the bank agrees to accept $50,000 on that loan. So basically, the short payoff is $50,000. So we'll negotiate with the bank to forgive your deficiency because you have $150,000.
And you might even have a second out there too. Wouldn't
Yeah, and then we negotiate with the second also.
you? Are you seeing, because Renee on her house she had a second, and the short sale did not cover the second.
Right.
So I don't remember the bank, but so the bank doesn't get anything
Yeah.
on a second.
The second, sometimes they're hard to deal with, sometimes they're easier, but there are certain rules and regulations as far as the second mortgage is what they can get, if they're in the second position in a short sale.
Are banks getting tougher now? I
They
heard
are.
at one time there were so many foreclosures out there,
Right.
and they were just pushing them through the courts.
Right.
So, are they getting tougher now with foreclosures?
They're a little bit more tough these days, yeah.
So now, what options do a homeowner that's facing foreclosure actually have?
So they can do a short sale. They can get some money for it. These days we typically see about $5,000 to $10,000. We've actually paid up to $36,000 to a homeowner short sale. They can do a loan modifications. From our experience, it doesn't always work.
Loan modifications,
yeah.
okay.
They can do a deed in lieu, where basically they pay the bank pays them like $3,000 to deed them the house instead of the bank having to foreclose on it. They can rent it out if the rent amount covers the mortgage payment. They might actually make some money on it.
I got to tell you something. Renee and I, this other show we have is doing incredibly well, and we thought about buying a house now, but buying a house now versus a year from now when our money situation is much better. So we said we wanted to rent. I tell you what I found out there. There's a lot of people who are in foreclosure, getting ready to lose their house,
Right.
but they're out there renting it.
For cheaper.
Yeah, but it could be taken away from you in a couple months.
Right. They need to disclose that if
But I guess my point I'm making is they don't, and that's a little scary out there.
Right.
Listen, I got so many questions for you. We're going to go to break right now. When we come back, I just got a ton of questions for you. Give everybody your phone number.
Sure. It's 954-906-3000.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Thank you.
There are many situations that today's homeowners face, which require them to sell their home fast. Florida Cash Home Buyers specializes in purchasing properties from homeowners in as little as 5 days and without the need of dealing with any repairs, realtors, stress, or hassle. They have purchased many properties from people just like you and can solve many problems, such as foreclosure, tax liens, damaged homes, probates, abandoned houses, and many more. Don't let your real estate worries bother you anymore. If you want to sell your house today, call Florida Cash Home Buyers right away and speak to someone about how they can best help you. They offer free, no-risk consultations. Florida Cash Home Buyers. Sell your house the easy way for fast cash. Call Florida Cash Home Buyers today. 954-906-3000. That's 954-906-3000. You can also check them out online at www.floridacashhomebuyers.com. That's www.floridacashhomebuyers.com.
And we're back. We have today live in studio Omer Reiner. He owns a company with his partner, Gabriel Garcia. It's called Florida Cash Home Buyers. Our phone number here is 888-565-1470. If you have a question for Omer, call us right now. Listen, I know there's a lot of people out there worried, sleepless nights. What am I going to do? I've got a family. I've got kids. I need to get out of my house. And they've probably lowered the price on the house, thinking that will help. But that doesn't always help, though, does it?
No.
Sometimes the market's just kind of cold.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And there's a company like yours that will come in, make an offer. And remember, they're doing this quickly, okay? This is not, you don't have to wait 2 or 3 months. I mean, you can basically close in a couple weeks, right?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you got to pay for that. I mean, you're not going to get probably as much as you want. Right. But again, you have a person with cash in hand who's ready to buy your house. And I think that's incredible. Again, our phone number here is 888-565-1470. What are the benefits? It doesn't sound like you like loan modifications. So if I say, what are the benefits, short sale versus loan modification, you don't seem like you really care much about loan modifications.
I mean, a lot of it's just our experience. A lot of people, they think about doing a loan modification because they want to stay in the house, they want to keep it, and they start their process, and it just doesn't work out in the end. The bank doesn't, they make it seem very easy, but in the end it's not, and they don't approve it. So we see a lot of people that we contact them or they contact us thinking to do a short sale or a loan mod, and then they decide with a loan mod and eventually come back and do a short sale. So that's kind of our experience with the loan modifications.
Okay. Now, you actually will buy houses in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach County?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Do you go any further north than Palm Beach County, like in Jupiter or Stewart?
We bought in Indian River, we bought in Palm Bay, but we like to stay mostly in the 3 counties here.
Okay. Do you have a ceiling of how much you want to go on a house?
No.
So
as long as it makes sense.
Okay, right, yes. Mm-hmm. So someone's got a $1.6 million home, probably not worth $1.6 million, but they think it is.
Right. Yeah.
That falls into your criteria.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other things on your criteria that you look at in a house?
We like CBS. We do buy wood frame, but we prefer to stay with CBS, concrete houses.
Okay. We don't know these letters, what those mean. You're in the biz, so you know what it means. Yeah. So, in other words, you like a concrete house?
Yeah, we like to stay with concrete outside. That's pretty much it. I mean, we buy...
Toilet have to work?
What's that?
Does a toilet have to work?
No.
Okay. See,
it doesn't have to have a toilet.
And, like I said, you've got houses right now.
Right.
In inventory. Mm-hmm. You've got one in South Miami, $349. Mm-hmm. You've got Fort Lauderdale, $220,000. You've got Pompano, $245,000. Boynton Beach at $85,000. Now that one is as is.
Right. And needs a little bit of work.
Yeah. So you've lowered the price probably down. So take in consideration they're going to have to fix it themselves.
Right.
But man, there's a lot of people out there can do that. Mm-hmm. I'm not one of them, but you can do that.
Yeah.
And you have us. I like the fact that you're not just a one-man show.
No.
You've got your partner who's probably halfway in Jacksonville, Florida right now looking for the station.
He got lost.
I'm just kidding you, Gabriel. But you've got support people, though.
Oh, yeah.
and you've got people that does the construction.
Right.
And I bet you, I can't wait. You got to bring pictures in that. We got to put these on the air because I bet you the houses are great houses.
Yeah, nice.
And it sounds like you've got some more that are going to be coming up too.
Yeah, I
That'll be
mean, like I
worked
said,
on.
we have right now 15 or 16 that we're working on. So once we finish, we put them on the market for sale.
You know what? I've seen these ads in the paper, these companies that teach you how to go out and buy houses. I never knew if that even really worked or not. People write these books. I'm like, they're making all their money off the books.
Right.
But you have really made a business out of this.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got started
Yeah.
with a course like that. And you just, you
And that was not, it was not a put down of the course. It was, does that really work? And
right. You have to
you're
give it
one
a
of
lot.
the 300 people that it did work for. But you probably put a lot of
you put a lot of
sweat
effort.
equity into it. And tell people now, let's give everybody your website address
It's FloridaCashHomeBuyers.com.
and the phone number.
954-906-3000.
And I'm going to say this, in this whole state of Florida, there's only a few companies like yours.
Yeah.
There's a lot of websites out there,
Right.
but there's only a few companies out there. And this is what I like about Ask the Experts. We find the company that you can trust. They're going to be here tomorrow. You don't have to worry about the check bouncing. Or do you pay them in dollar bills?
It's usually a wire to their account, same day wire.
Oh, you mean you really run this like a business, right?
Yeah, we have to.
And, last time you were here, you even had an attorney with you
Right.
who does probate
Probates.
work. And wow, that is, so you have an attorney who's associated and you have your real estate license. You're not just out there throwing money out to people. I mean, you actually have your real estate license. What's the industry look like now? I mean, is the market selling again? Prices up, down?
Yeah.
What's happening in the market right now?
Well, prices have been going up quite a bit, and some people say it's about to turn. I mean, for us, houses are selling fast, not as fast as they used to sell about 6 to 12 months ago, but they're still selling good and fast, and the prices are still going up.
I keep hearing that. And I just judge our neighborhood because we live in it's a very large neighborhood in Coral Springs. And I'm seeing a lot of foreclosures out there. I am seeing for sale signs up for a long period. To me, a long period of time is 4 to 6 months.
Right.
They don't go very fast, a lot of these houses.
Yeah. No, it's because there is a lot of remodeled houses out there. So people usually like, to go into a remodeled house, a freshly remodeled house that was just redone. So the houses that are not quite there, it's a little bit harder to sell. They could be listed too high, could be not enough pictures that the realtor put. So there's many factors that can affect it.
When you remodel a house, do you also do like refrigerators, stoves, things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're actually really coming into a remodeled, almost
Move-in
brand new
Right.
type house. What do you see happening this year in the home market? Do you think it's going to get better? Do you think I keep looking at the economy, and this is an election year, and people don't know who's going to be elected and what should we do. Do you see good or do you see bad?
I like to see good. It's kind of like the magic question. Everybody wants to know the answer. For us, business, we're looking to double our business this year from last year. But so it's looking good.
Okay. Is there a better time of the year to buy a house? You hear that, like when school's out, it's a good time to buy a house.
Yeah.
Is there certain times of the year that it's better to sell your house?
In certain areas, like you have certain parts of Deerfield Beach that Canadians come there during the winter, so there's like hot periods that sell faster because you got more buyers here.
Well, I got to say, it's because we're also on iHeart. You can listen to this show anywhere in the world. We also have televised, which is actually playing on your website right now. We're going to go to break, and we're a little early today. We're going to go to break because we have your partner in here now. And we come back, we'll introduce him. Be right back.
Have you inherited a house that you want to sell fast? If so, Florida Cash Home Buyers may be just who you are looking for. Holding onto a property and maintaining it can be expensive, time-consuming, and emotionally draining. Florida Cash Home Buyers specialize in purchasing inherited properties that need to go through the probate process. Their expertise in this field can help you sell your inherited home much faster and usually even before the probate process is finished. You will not need to deal with any repairs, realtors, stress, or hassle. They have purchased many properties from people just like you and can solve many problems such as foreclosure, tax liens, damaged homes, code violations, abandoned houses, and much more. Don't let your real estate worries bother you anymore. If you want to sell your house fast, call Florida Cash Home Buyers right away and speak to someone to see how they can best help you. They offer free, no-risk consultations. Call Florida Cash Home Buyers today, 954-906-3000. That's 954-906-3000.
And we are back. Your partner's here now, Gabriel Garcia. Gabriel, tell us, what is your position in the company?
I'm a managing member in the company with Omer, and I pretty much handle the closings, the sales on the back end part. So
Are you the guy with the hammer in your hand? I'm just kidding.
After we acquire the properties, I deal with the sales, manage the closings, the finances, that type of stuff.
Well, we were saying before that I love what you guys do, because there's people out there who've been sitting on their house for a long time who need to get out of their house. And there's a company like yours that just comes right in, makes an offer right there, and you're ready to go, cash in hand.
Right.
And that you can close in a couple weeks. I think that is, I love what you guys are doing. And we were just talking about, I've seen these guys on TV that will teach you how to do this. I always wondered, does anyone ever make anything of themselves that go to these? And they're not online courses. They're usually, it's a book, or they have seminars they come in and do. But you guys just prove to me that if you do a lot of hard work and you stay at it, you can really make a business out of this.
Oh, yeah. That's how we started.
Yeah. So, I mean, Omer told me that. Mm-hmm. So tell me your version about your company.
As far as?
About the background of the company. Tell me what your vision is, what you do. I know what Omer looks at the business as, but tell me, because we have different people every 20 minutes
right.
that tune into the show. So people right now that are listening might not even been listening before.
Like my personal background?
No, like the company. Explain to everybody what the company does.
So basically, we just buy and sell properties, and as far as working with homeowners, we're a company that comes in and buys properties in 10, 14 days, depending on the situation, and we offer cash for the property. So if a person's facing foreclosure, if they inherited a property, or if they just need to sell right away, or if it's just a problem for them, and
maybe there's a lot of work that needs to be done on it.
A lot of repairs that need to be redone.
And that doesn't bother you at all.
No.
You'll come in and buy it and you'll fix it up.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it has repairs or if it has liens and violations from the city. We deal with all that stuff.
I'm telling our listeners that you got to be careful on who you deal with. Because we went to a house we were looking at renting, and we did some background, and it turned out that not only is it in foreclosure, but it was like a month away from going to the trial.
Right.
Which means if we had moved into that house and given this guy maybe 2 security deposits and monthly, we'd have been out of there in a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So I know you do your due diligence when you look at these houses.
Oh, yeah.
Before you hand over a check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we give advances to sellers as well that, sometimes people are strapped for cash, or they need to find a place to go to. Sometimes they're buying in our house, and so we give advances to sellers to help them things. And sometimes they expect as soon as they sign the contract, they get the advance. But we're like, whoa,
yeah, right.
We gotta check title before we give
Exactly.
you the advance, and just make sure everything is okay. That we don't foresee any problems coming up before closing.
And if anyone's rushing you, you better run.
Right.
Because that's what happened with us. They were actually going to throw a party because we were going to rent their house. I mean, it was a pretty expensive house, and it needed a lot of work. But, I mean, we could see that, wow, this maybe we'll, rent for now or do a lease buy with them. Do you ever do that, a lease buy?
We haven't done that yet. No?
Not too often, no.
Where
I mean,
the certain part of their money that they pay rent
Right.
goes towards the purchase.
yeah, not too often. I mean, it's possible to do it,
There
but
must be a downside to that then.
yeah.
That
just
you don't, if you guys don't do it.
Like I just prefer, we prefer because it's such a cash intensive business that when we put the cash in, we need it to come back out. So if we have
Yes.
to wait a year or 2 years for the person to get our cash out, sometimes it's too much of an inconvenience.
Oh, that makes sense. And I'm hearing a lot of foreign buyers are coming down here now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Venezuela especially.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You must be from Venezuela.
My fiance is
Okay.
there's a lot of money coming down from Venezuela.
Now your office is in Fort Lauderdale,
Right.
but you will buy houses in Dade County,
Yeah.
Broward,
Or Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, I guess even up in Martin County.
Yeah. Martin. I mean, we've bought there before. We don't buy too often, but Indian River, Palm Bay.
Indian River.
Yeah.
Now, Indian River, the house there, that's one of the ones you're working on right now?
No, that one we sold
Okay.
a year and a half ago, I think.
Just out of curiosity, what did you sell that house for?
65.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because Indian River's nice.
Right.
It's a nice community. Is it strictly houses that you buy? Do you buy condos?
Yeah, condos, anything.
Okay.
We buy condos every now and then. We'll buy a mobile home.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a mobile home today or yesterday down here. Boy, that was some rough weather. We were actually driving up from our other station, and they're sitting there and tell us, well, we spotted one in Boynton. And I look at the sign. We're in Boynton. We're on 95 today. I want to talk about probate. How difficult is now? Do you buy houses that there's probate involved?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically somebody inherited the property. Most of the time it needs to go through probate so they can sell it. Yeah, so that's, we deal a lot with that. We have several attorneys that we work with that if the seller didn't start the probate, we can pay for it and have our attorneys do it for them. Or if they started it, we can, a lot of times there's little things that people don't know that they can actually sell the house before the probate is done, so they don't have to wait 6 months, a year to sell the house. They can sell it, 2 or 3 weeks.
We got a question that says, what is your success ratio with buying the short sales?
Short sales, what is it these days?
It's
50,
about
60?
Yeah, I wish it was that high. It's about 40%.
Is it?
That's still not bad, though.
Yeah,
Even 40%.
You know what the problem is, though, too, is that sometimes, for those listening, sometimes these, we get calls from these sellers a few months before their foreclosure sale. So it makes it even harder to get the short sale done because now you're fighting, you're trying to get the short sale, but now you got to fight the foreclosure deadline. And these banks, if it was up to us, we'll get a short sale approval in a week. But the banks work too slow. You got to send paperwork, and then it goes to a negotiator, and it has to go to an investor, and there's so many parties involved, and there's so much paperwork involved that it's a really slow process. So,
And there's a lot of properties out there, a lot of foreclosures out there.
yeah, they're dealing with hundreds. They're dealing with thousands of them.
Right.
And
hundreds
now,
of thousands.
what happens if the bank does not approve it?
Every now and then we'll get something like that. I mean, we just let the seller know, hey, bank, the bank doesn't want to do a short sale. It's not the bank typically, it's the investor. What happens is the investor is basically whoever buys the mortgage because the banks give the homeowner a mortgage,
Right.
and they go ahead and sell that to an investor. And that investor could be another bank,
Used to be Fannie Mae.
It could be Fannie Mae, it could be a regular individual investor. There's all types. You got all types of investors. So we have to deal with that investor, and if they don't, we just let them know, hey, it is what it is.
Can a homeowner walk away with any cash on a short sale anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they can.
I mean,
Because you think short sale means I'm not going to hardly get anything.
right. No, these days, like 5,000-10,000. I mean, we've gotten homeowners up to 36,000 for a short sale. So it really depends on the situation in the bank, but most of the times they walk away.
You're talking
with cash.
as to profit.
Basically money that they walk away with because
Yeah.
Cash at hand.
cash
Okay.
at the
Yeah.
close.
And this, you
That's
can have
36,000. I mean, it's happened.
Pretty rare.
It's like a grand slam in the World Series.
Right.
But the $3,000 to $5,000 from the short sale is very common. I mean, we've never done a short sale with that where the homeowner hasn't gotten money. So
Right.
they always get something, but
Yeah, but when you've come down and you're looking at short selling, you've been at this for a while, and to expect to walk away with much
Yeah.
in a short sale just isn't going to happen.
Right. Some people have too much of a high expectation where it's not, it's not realistic.
When you go into a house and you're looking at, how long does it take you to decide what you're going to offer them?
we already know before.
Yeah.
You actually know before, so you really don't even have to go out to the house.
We don't. I mean,
We don't. It's just every now and then there's little new sometimes if we're really like tight on price, like if some owners we tell them, hey, look, this is what we'll pay. They're good and we're great, but some of them want us, to pay even more, and then that's when little nuances at the house do make a difference.
Right.
Like we just had a house now that we were paying like $115 for that house, and we were just like we were redlining it where that was like it was even more than we wanted to pay, but we had already spent so much time with her that we said let's just do it. But then later on we found out there was a whole problem with the electrical and stuff that we weren't expecting, and there was actually violations that popped up on title.
Wow.
So we told her, hey, look, we weren't expecting to take the property violation and stuff, and now we're already going a little bit higher than we want, and now 115 is just
So
it's
do you
too high.
do you have to rescind your offer when you start finding all these things wrong with it that you didn't know?
If there's issues that pop up that we didn't agree to before, we let them know, and then tell them what we can do at that point, and then it's up to them whether they want to accept it or they want to just cancel the deal.
How many times will you go out to make an offer? What's your success rate there? That you actually, is it 1 out of 10 that will accept your offer, 2 out of 20?
I think it's probably about 30-40%.
That I never would have thought that.
Yeah, because a lot of times we don't, if somebody calls and they want to retail for their house, we're going to let them know, look, we can't pay that much, so there's no point to go out there.
Right.
We can maybe refer them to a realtor, but the ones that we do go out, there's more probability that we can work something out with a price that's going to make it beneficial for everybody.
Do you make an offer to them over the phone before you go out there?
Some
So
of them
they have
do,
some
yeah,
idea-
some of them we do, some of them no.
So you're
some
not
at that
spinning
point
your
not.
wheels.
Yeah.
If
right.
it's like a person that wants retail where we feel it's really not going to be beneficial to them or to us, then we'll just make the offer over the phone.
Does the short sale process cost anything to the homeowners?
No.
Doesn't cost them anything.
No.
I mean, if the only thing it may cost them is every now and then, for the most part, I mean, if a foreclosure comes up, or in the event that, they've already stalled the foreclosure before, sometimes it happens to us. Back then, the counties were were more lenient, and they've gone super strict these last few years. So they want to get these foreclosures out on the pipeline. So back then, you can go ahead to the judge and you could stall foreclosure 5-10 times, no problem.
Really? How long a period of time?
Every time it comes back. I mean, usually when you stall it, they usually give you between 60 to 90 days,
That long?
and then you just go back and stall it again, and they would let you do that all day long. But now it's just like, I know date. I think it's one.
Once,
And once
yeah.
you do it once, to get a second shot is extremely difficult. I mean, you have to have a really, really, really good reason why.
A really, really good lawyer.
Even the lawyers.
Really?
Because we don't go. We send the lawyers
Right.
out there, and the lawyers get denied all the time.
Right.
Wow.
And they know the judges because they're there for all the sales, so they're good friends with all the judges.
I am dying to ask you guys a question. A lot of the car dealerships now, there's no more negotiation. This is our best price. We're not negotiating. And I kind of like that, too, because I feel like at least I'm not leaving any money on the table. This is the price. I'm not selling any less than that. When you make an offer, are there any negotiations at all?
Yeah, I mean, there's
Sometimes,
negotiating. I mean, typically what we do is we always
You don't just come, this is it, take it or leave it.
No, we always tell the sellers. We like to get, because there's a process, right? So they call us, it goes into our lead manager. Then before it goes into our lead manager, then it goes to our so there's a funnel. When the seller calls,
So by
it
the
has to
time you
go
get it, it's
through.
been filtered out.
Right, and so what happens is they're typically asking the sellers what price they want to sell the house for, so that way we can prioritize. So if there's a seller that wants to sell for a price that makes sense to us, we're calling them back first. If there's a person that wants to sell for a price that's ridiculous, we'll still call them back, but they're going to be.
But sometimes they let their heart get in the way.
Yeah.
You know, this is their house, and it's the heart that's talking.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Even I like to watch these real estate shows that are on, some of the people that think their houses are worth so much money, and they're not even
Remember
close.
That lady that called the other day, she wanted like 150 or something, and the acquisition guy was like, that's way too high. And 2 days later, he called back, and she ended up selling her house to another company for like $100,000. And we're like,
What? Now, how would that happen?
you could told us 100 from the beginning, we would have gone and
Right,
bought it.
exactly. Or whatever. But that's what people do. There's a lot of emotion that goes on with a person's house.
Yeah.
And they think it's worth so much more that. And I remember my first house, I was looking in Denver, and all the comps were like 100,000. This was like 20 years ago. But this house, they put so much money into it. So they were asking 140, but I'm going, hey, but look, it's got a swimming pool. No one else has got a pool. But that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Right.
I mean, a person who wants to spend 140 is going to go to a
Somewhere
neighborhood
else, right.
that has comps, but not in where. So the comps are very important.
Oh yeah.
The thing is that, if you were buying all cash, I wouldn't think it mattered, but 90% of everyone's buying with financing. So
90%.
yeah, and probably even more. So if you do, if the banks have to do the appraisal, and if all the comps say it's worth 100, say maybe you spend all this money, maybe the appraiser gives you 105. No one has an extra $35,000 in their pocket to pay for your house, because they're using Fannie Mae. I mean, they're using FHA, putting 3.5% down, or conventional 5% down on a $100,000 purchase. That's $5,000.
Yeah. So we have 4 houses that you have for sale. We were telling everybody about. Anything else coming up down the pipeline? I know you're working on a lot of houses right now. Right. What areas of these houses that you have coming up that you're remodeling right now? What areas of town are they?
We have a property in Deerfield that we're remodeling. We have 2 in Miami Gardens, 1 in Plantation, 1 in South Miami, like Kendall area, 1 in Hollywood, 2 in Hollywood.
So you're all over the place.
Pompano.
Boynton is as is, right?
Yeah, we got Boynton. We got Opelika, a bunch of places.
Wow, you're everywhere. And I see your price range. I mean, this one right here is 85 to like 350. Mm-hmm. So you can just about take care of any price range that someone's looking at.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even know there's companies out there like yours that even exist. Mm-hmm. So their phone number here. Give everybody your phone number.
It's 954-906-3000.
And give everybody you got a great website. I love your website. It's got so much good information on there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's FloridaCashHomeBuyers.com.
We're going to go to break now. We're going to come back for our final 15 minutes. And, man, I'm going to ask you guys, so be ready. We're not going to do it when we come back, but right towards the end of the show, why should someone call right now?
Sure.
For you guys to come look, because they've never met you. They know nothing about you except that you're on Ask the Experts. So when we come back, I'm going to ask you both, why should people call you? We'll be right back.
There are many situations that today's homeowners face, which require them to sell their home fast. Florida Cash Home Buyers specializes in purchasing properties from homeowners in as little as 5 days and without the need of dealing with any repairs, realtors, stress, or hassle. They have purchased many properties from people just like you and can solve many problems, such as foreclosure, tax liens, damaged homes, probates, abandoned houses, and many more. Don't let your real estate worries bother you anymore. If you want to sell your house today, call Florida Cash Home Buyers right away and speak to someone about how they can best help you. They offer free, no-risk consultations. Florida Cash Home Buyers. Sell your house the easy way for fast cash. Call Florida Cash Home Buyers today. 954-906-3000. That's 954-906-3000. You can also check them out online at www.floridacashhomebuyers.com. That's www.floridacashhomebuyers.com.
And we're back. Well, tell me, what do you mean that we were just talking about houses that are in these auctions, and you said with the boom that's coming back. Tell me about that.
Yeah, just that, everyone's getting into the real estate craze again and wants to buy property, and so, they're driving prices at the foreclosure auctions way up, and they're overpaying for stuff.
Why is that? Why are people wanting to do that?
Want to make money?
I guess like real estate's like cool, it's sexy.
Oh, okay, sexy. I got you. So I wanted to find out from you, because there's people who are listening, and I was talking with Omer. There's a lot of people running all kinds of marketing ads out there, and then all of a sudden 2 months later, you don't see those ads anymore, and the number's been disconnected. So I think what I want people to get out of this show is that you don't want to Google a company, and you need to go to someone that is reputable, that is going to be around tomorrow.
Right.
And that's what we like about you guys. So tell me, I'm listening on the, I've got a problem. I need to get rid of my house.
Okay.
I've got a realtor who for 4 months has basically done nothing, and I've even lowered the price.
Okay.
Because they probably told me to lower the price.
Right. Obviously.
And my house is still sitting there. And if I don't get out of it, I'm going to lose this house. Why should I call you?
Well, a few things. We close fast. So, like we said, 14 days. We're accredited with the Better Business Bureau. We have, a lot of testimonials on our website that people that we actually bought houses for.
I love that about your website.
Video, and they're happy to share, their experience with other people. We can give you cash advance if you need it. We actually guarantee you that if we don't.
What does that mean?
So basically, it means that if you need money before the closing, we can give you cash before the closing. We also guarantee you that if we don't close on time, we'll pay you $1,000 cash over the deposit that we normally put up on the contracts. We buy.
I didn't know you did that.
What's that?
That's wonderful. I didn't even know you did that.
We didn't know either.
Yeah.
We just started doing it.
Recently.
What a great idea.
Recently.
Yeah.
I like the way you guys are really creative. You're always looking for something new. Because you were the first ones to sign to do this show. And I don't know if they're out there listening to the show. I've got other people calling, I want to do the same thing. And one guy, he's got banners everywhere. But this show's an exclusive show. You're the only one who can do it. But you know what? I was getting back to the trust factor. You don't want to Google someone like this. You don't want to see who's got the most sexiest ad. Here's a show right here. We've got the company right here. And, one of the things I wanted to ask you, because this is an educational show too, is what are some of the common mistakes that sellers make
Okay.
when selling their house?
Sometimes they list it too high. They have, high expectations. Basically, they have emotional attachment to the house.
Is that done by the realtors out there or just something internally?
Well, most of the time, the realtor knows what they should list it for, but people have an idea, a price in mind that they kind of want. So sometimes, some realtors will say, "Oh, I'll list it for whatever you want," but it actually hurts them because if it's listed too high, it's gonna sit on the market for a while. It's gonna be stale. It's not a fresh new listing, so it's gonna take longer to sell. So you want to price it right.
And those are negligent realtors. A lot of people don't
Right.
realize, but realtors are not. They're not
Go
really
ahead.
professionals. They go to a course. What's the realtor course?
It's like a week.
It's a week course, and that's all they learn about real estate. So a lot of these people, they barely make much money off and a living off being a realtor. And then people want to sell their house, and they're just like, we'll list it, and they just go with it.
You know
But
what
they're
the hardest thing
doing
is
more
about being a
harm than good.
realtor? Taking that dang test. That's the hardest part about being a realtor.
It's a lot of stuff to remember.
Listen, the math was hard for me. Took me 3 times, and I was so embarrassed. I would never tell anybody. But then I find out there's people 5, 6, 7 times. and you keep doing this refresher course every time. Math always killed me.
Right.
I can tell you how much I have in my pocket. And if I spend some, I can tell you how much is left. But the real estate math is just well. You did the test. You're a realtor.
Realtors don't really know. Like, I mean, the experienced ones do, but if you're dealing with the new realtor, they don't really know how to value houses or anything like that. And so it's negligible, kind of what they do, where they just list someone's house, like he said, just to list it, and listing becomes stale. And you see it all the time, where they list a property for $300,000, where sales don't even justify 250, and
how about the
listings go
comps?
bad.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you look at comps in the area.
Right.
I mean, if the comps are average house is selling at 250, you're not going to give them 400,000 for their home. You're not going to give them 300,000 for their home.
I mean, we just got 2 houses recently that were both listed with realtors for over 100 days, and they're calling us now, and it's kind of you know, kind of sucks in a way, because now they're still got to pay the realtor because they're in contract with them.
Right.
But the realtors didn't do anything, and the seller called us directly and said, "Hey, can you just buy my house?" So but they still have to pay their realtor.
Right.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think of it that way.
So like the realtor's now getting paid, and they didn't even do anything.
Well, like I said, I love what you guys do. I mean, because, man, when you are worried about losing your house, those sleepless nights, what am I going to do? Especially if you have a family, you got kids involved. And like I said, you guys can just come in. You're not going to, it's going to be a very easy process. You're going to tell them what you're going to give them for the house.
Right.
You're going to pay, you're going to have it closed within a couple weeks. You pay cash. It's pretty clean.
Yeah, we actually closed on a house in Pompano in 48 hours. That was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks.
How did it close so fast?
How did it go so fast? we
She had a really emergency where she needed the funds or whatever, and you know, we were in a position to do it in 48 hours, so we just ran the title search really fast. We held some money back in escrow because, you know, the lien search takes like 10 days, so we had to close without it there, so we gave her all the money, but say, hey, look.
Because something could have been major wrong with the house.
Right.
Well, as far with the liens, yeah. So we held back. I think we held like $10,000 in escrow and said, look, if anything pops up in the lien search, you know, this is our safety net. But
what if there's like foundation problem? You wouldn't know that by just looking at it, would you?
That's the risk we take.
That's a pretty big risk.
Yeah, and you know, when we see the property, you can kind of tell if
Like
it's something
cracks or
major. Yeah,
something?
you can see cracks in the exterior walls and stuff like that.
So you can eye just about anything and know.
Mostly, yeah.
For
Okay.
the most part. Every now and then we'll have some unpleasant surprises, but
But then you have to eat that then, right?
Right.
it's the nature
Okay.
of the business.
Because I don't know how your contract works. So once you make an offer, it's put into writing.
Right.
The only way that those numbers will change is if what?
If something unexpected comes up,
Tell me something.
Something that we didn't agree to.
Right.
So, for instance, every now and then also
Like it
what'll
wasn't really
happen
their
is-
house or something like that.
Or there's just the lien search comes back and says, hey, you know, there's work without permits here, and now it's going to require us to pull permits with the city and do all this work. Now rehab costs are going to double. And plus we have to pay the lien. It's like, well, we didn't agree to that. We agreed to get clear title on the contract.
So you write in everything you're going to agree to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's time for my big question. Why should people hire you? Not hire you. Why should people use your company to come in to buy their house?
Well, I mean, you know, if you're looking to sell for retail value, then you shouldn't hire us, right?
No, that's not your bag.
Right. That's, you know, we're not your guys. Now, if you have a house that's just a headache, if price isn't your biggest issue, if just selling the house and getting out of it is your biggest issue, then we're the people that need to help you. And if it's, you know, if you inherited a property and the mortgage payments on it are killing you, and taxes and insurance are piling up and you can't deal with it and you need help.
That's another thing. It's
We
not
take
just you can close fast, but how much is it costing them?
Right. To hold
Every
it.
day that house sits there.
Yeah.
So that's important.
You know, if the house needs a lot of repairs, a lot of people don't realize too is, you know, if your house isn't in good condition, a realtor is going to sell it to an investor anyways.
Right.
Okay.
So they're basically going to sell it to us anyways, and you're going to have to pay them 6%.
That's right. He's got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Tell me, why should someone hire you?
Well, we
I keep
deal-
saying
yeah.
hiring because I'm so used, but why should someone use your company and trust you guys?
We've been in the business for a while. Like I said, we're accredited. We have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Yeah, we deal with any situation pretty much. I mean, liens, violations. We can help you, resolve those issues. Probates. A lot of people don't have experience with that field, and it took us a while to learn, but we've accumulated a lot of knowledge in that field, so that can help you, sell your house faster in probate. We
You know
have
what I
our
like
core
about you? I've been
values.
telling you what I like about your company and you guys is because I spend a lot of time on the internet, whether it's through Googling and I can tell you just about almost any business how fast some of these people go out of business. I mean, it's almost like they're fly-by-night companies. You guys have been around for a while.
Right.
That's a great sign. You've got 14 people on your staff, and you're expanding, and you're getting more and more houses. That means you're going to be around tomorrow.
yeah.
And that's what I care about.
Yeah.
Right.
So I love your concept, what you do. Give everybody your phone number,
It's 954-906-3000.
and let's give everybody your website. You know what I love about your website? The people on there that talk about what you did for them. There's some really great testimonials on there. So
Sure.
the website
it's
is,
FloridaCashHomebuyers.com.
and listen, some of you people just tuned in. You can actually go to your website and they can watch today's show over again.
Right.
They can watch last week's show over again. Anyhow, thank you for you guys coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
We're going to be back next week with another Ask the Experts. It's our famous HOA. We have an HOA show. Association lawyers that come in. They've been with us for 2 years. So thanks for listening today. Be careful out there. It's going to get cooler this weekend. Peace and love, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Experts show with Steve-O and Renee. Tune in every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m.